Hello, everybody. Today I will be presenting the Milpa system, which is a Mayan agroforestry practice. And my name is Jenny, by the way. So, to begin with, a little bit about our current farming systems. The current farming system in the United States is dominated by industrial monocultures, which is where vast areas are planted with single crops like corn, soybeans, or wheat. What they means by single crops is basically since we live in in the Central Valley. I'm sure that lots of you have seen fields which are primarily almonds, sweet potatoes, etc., but we don't see fields that have multiple, like more than one crops, except on Santa Fe. I'm not sure if you guys have passed by, but there's like a little shop, like a little strawberry shop that they sell on the side of the road, and they actually follow the milpa system. Like they actually plant tons of other plants and not just specifically one crop. But anyways, the model that we follow here in the US is basically single crop fields. So this model maximizes short-term yields and profits, but doesn't focus on how bad it harms the environment, such ways as soil depletion and erosion, water pollution, loss of biodiversity, increased greenhouse gas emissions, which is probably the most important one. Who are the Mayans and what is the Milpa system? The Mayans are an indigenous civilization from Mesoamerica, who originally lived in what we now recognize as southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. One of their most important agricultural traditions is the Milpa system. They are well known for the Milpa system, and now it's actually becoming very popular with all the climate change issues that we have been experiencing. But it is based on a polyculture of maize, bean, and squash, but not limited to, and is associated with a great diversity of crops and wild species. How does the milpa system work? The milpa system is primarily devoted to maize, although it can be practiced with other primary crops, but can also have up to hundreds of different intercrops that complement each other's growth. The way that these crops are chosen are basically how they complement each other. So each crop has to complement the other crop in a certain way that benefits its growth. In a traditional milpa, which is what the Mayans had originally developed, was the three sisters, which is maize, beans, and squash. These all complemented each other, which were they were cultivated together, promoting soil fertility and providing a balanced diet. This is because maize grows tall and provides support for climbing bean plants, while squash spreads across the ground, keeping the soil most moist and preventing weeds. So it was just plants that complement each other. Other plants like chili peppers, tomatoes, amaranth, etc., are some examples of plants that may be included and have been included. Each crop plays a role. Some improve soil health, others attract helpful insects, creating a natural balance that boosts the whole system without needing harsh chemicals. Here's some additional info that I thought was important. It kind of explains the way that the Milpa system works also. It's although the traditional milpa system worked primarily around corn, beans, and squash, in some regions, milpa systems are combined with agroforestry practices, integrating trees and shrubs to provide additional benefits like shade, wind protection, and additional biodiversity conservation. Even in urban settings like Yucatan, small backyard plots near homes or villages are cultivated with a mixture of complementary crops such as amaranth, chilies, and tomatoes, in addition to maize, beans, and squash. These backyard practices remain integral to the he- Mayan cultural identity and heritage. Pros and cons to implementing this farming system. A couple pros are that it keeps the soil healthy and strong. It uses fewer chemicals, better for our environment. It's resilient to climate change due to multiple crops, grows many crops at once, which is more food variety for us. It helps fight climate change, supports bees, insects, and other wildlife, and most importantly, honors indigenous farming traditions. A couple cons are that it takes more time and effort to manage. It doesn't produce as much as big industrial farms which plant single crops. It is more labor intensive due to the multiple crops. It's hard to use with big farm machines since a lot of the time these multiple crops can be entangled within each other. The land needs rest after a few years, which means less constant use, so it's not as convenient for farmers who want to be making money off of their fields like yearly or seasonally. It's not easy to fit into the current food industry just because a lot of the times farmers sell to companies that want to buy a single crop and not multiple different crops. So it would be a little difficult to find an industry that would buy your whole harvest for the season, since you do have multiple crops. Some concluding thoughts. Unlike industrial farming in the US, which often harms the soil and relies heavily on chemicals, the Milpa system works with nature growing crops that support each other, maintaining soil health and encouraging biodiversity. Conventional agriculture has significantly boosted food production, but it has also caused severe environmental drawbacks, including increased greenhouse gas emissions, soil degradation, and extensive freshwater withdrawals. And I did want to add before I'm done that it is a cycle. I don't think I explained much about the cycle, but it's a cycle where you simply plant, well, not simply, obviously, where you plant up to as many crops as you can, which is not limited to just three crops, since I did explain the three sisters, but it's not limited to three crops. You can plant as many crops as you like, as long as they all complement each other in a way, and in a way that they support each other's growth. And yeah, thank you so much. And here is my works cited.